Hey guys, it's Empress. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it.
It's more than a statement, it's a way of life. Celebration. Let me suggest some talking.
Alright guys, so that's right, I am back. Y'all know I already reacted to Evita the movie. I just reacted to that July 2025. That's crazy because I just saw a little video clip of me and baby Empress reacting to You'll See the Video. So I heard that before I saw the movie. I wasn't really feeling the song before the movie, but like that was in I think like November of 2024 last year. Yeah, I was tripping. But again, y'all know like we like it sometimes. We all go through it. Anywho, let's see what Madonna was talking about in 1996 in this Today interview. Let's go.
Trainer, 29-year-old Carlos Leon, with whom she's been involved for over a year. At a press conference last summer, she was asked if Leon would father her child.
What? Madonna Jr. Can we be expecting that soon from you and your sweetheart?
Yes, but first I have to make a movie.
That movie
Oh,
is
so that's
Evita,
Baby Daddy,
which Madonna has
okay.
been filming for the past 10 weeks. Last week, I visited her on the set of Evita in Budapest, where we talked about the movie, her career, and the possibility of motherhood. You've talked of wanting to have children.
Mm-hmm.
A priority? Now?
Yes.
A timetable?
A what?
Is there a timetable?
Well, I think I better do it before I'm 45.
That was such a real what? Like I think like sometimes in interviews Madonna can be like very well, controlled. You know what I'm saying? That was like a real kind of like, what you saying?
Feel any compulsion to be married to the person who's the father?
Why does that even matter?
That depends on how I feel about the person at the time.
In other words, that's not an essential part of the equation.
What, marriage?
You put words in her
No, not
mouth.
necessarily.
Listen, it's so shocking to me still in the 90s. Like, I thought the 90s was supposed to be so progressive, but this kind of conversation was happening. Like, whoa, wow.
I've been married before. It's not what it's cracked up to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, I have been married. That's right. Sean Penn. And remember, yeah, I got to go back in the journey. I was tripping off of that. I couldn't believe Madonna got married. For real. I was like, huh? What? Anyway.
You can live with someone and be in love with someone and raise children and not be married and be perfectly fine.
Now, despite her penchant for publicity, Madonna's life is not always an open book. Her publicist says even though Madonna is happy, she does not want to, nor will ever, talk about her pregnancy, either now or in the future. By the way, you'll see more of that exclusive Madonna interview in 2 weeks. In her time,
Dang, in 2 weeks. So they was making y'all starve out there, right? 2 weeks. Dang. I guess they was doing the Empress.
Beloved and vilified person in all of Argentina. In life, she was a president's wife. In death, she enjoys near legendary stature in her native land. Better known as Evita, Peron championed the rights of women and the poor of Argentina back in the late 40s and early 50s. In the process, she made some powerful enemies who despised her for unbridled ambition and a personally extravagant lifestyle. When Peron died of cancer at the age of 33, she became somewhat of a martyr. So much so that today, nearly 45 years after her death, feelings about Evita still run high among the Argentine public. Now, amid great controversy, the musical version of Evita's life story is making its way to the big screen. And much of that controversy stems from the casting of Madonna in the title role. Near the set of Evita in Budapest, Hungary, I recently...
Can I just say it was remarkable that 33, I didn't realize how young Eva Peron was at 33. She did all that. Like, I don't know, like, back then, I guess because the life expectancy was so short, but people used to be moving and shaking. Like, by the time somebody was 18, they didn't let a revolution. Let's go.
We talked with Madonna about the role and the woman she has longed to play for several years.
I would have been fascinated by her. I would have loved to have gone to have a drink with her, to meet with her. I would love to have at least had a conversation with her. I don't know if we could have been friends. Maybe we would have been incredibly competitive with each other. She was essentially more powerful than her husband.
Yes.
That's an amazing accomplishment. I don't say that I necessarily agree with all the things she did or the way she did a lot of things, but I still think that she's an inspiring person in history.
And I was like catching some slick hate from Juan Peron in the movie too, like, but then I was like, is it again older man? Like, okay, let her think she got the power. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what's that show on Netflix? With Kiki and Kevin Spacey. I know what I'm talking about. What's it called? Witches. I forgot. Siren. All right, anyway, let's go.
History. I mean, she helped a lot of minorities. She helped poor people.
And she helped herself along the way.
Yes.
Who wouldn't?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Are saints
Wait.
only allowed to exist if they're like Mother Teresa and they just wear rags every day and don't, enjoy caviar? I mean,
I suspect if they're to be called saints, the answer would be yes.
Well, I think you can do good things for people and have high ideals and be incredibly moral and still like to buy a lot of shoes.
I agree.
So,
You realize, of course, that dime store shrinks are anxious to
a dime a dozen.
Oh, yeah. But they're also anxious to see parallels between her and you.
That's okay. I'm sure there are.
Dime store shrinks. That's a new one. Never heard that expression ever.
She knows how to appeal to the masses from which she came. She has driving ambition, a compulsive need for power and luxury, a desperate need for approval.
People think that being a star is about being fabulous, being in the spotlight, having your picture taken all the time and having everyone worship and adore you. Being rich, having it all. And you know what? They're absolutely right.
So you don't resent the comparisons? People suggesting equally admired
because
and
I
loved,
choose
people
to- I
suggesting
choose to-
seeking fame in the same ways, seeking power in the same ways, etc.
Well, that's a ludicrous notion because we have very different lives and we do very different things with our lives. I mean, the irony of all of this is that the way people have reacted to me portraying Eva Peron and saying, oh, she's vulgar, look at her past, she's not fit to play such a saintly, incredible woman, is exactly what she had to endure and go through when she was in power. There were so many people against her, and they accused her of all the things they're accusing me of now.
Madonna is the subject of
Pop
controversy.
singer Madonna has been shaking up Argentina.
Critics had promised to disrupt the making of Evita.
President Carlos Menem even blasted the choice of Madonna to play the lead in Evita.
Why do you think so many Peronists are so strongly opposed, or were so strongly opposed, to your involvement after you got the part?
For no particular reason. Just, I don't think they had a real reason. No, they didn't. They do see her as a saint.
And so that's kind of shocking to me watching the movie, but I'm guessing, how most political figures who fight the good fight, so to speak, are sanctified, right, in passing, kind of like how they do MLK, right? Like he wasn't a man, you know what I mean? But that's another topic anyway.
Pure and without fault. And when we first came, they were, trying to run us out and making all this noise and this and that. And I don't really think they cared that much. I think that in the end we got whatever we wanted quite easily, so I find it hard to believe that they were really truly opposed to it.
But in the beginning it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
No, I think the media blew it way out of proportion and made it seem like it was really bad.
I can believe
Has
that.
it been much different here in Budapest?
I'll say. Yes.
Why Budapest?
Because of the architecture, it's very similar to Buenos Aires. And because it's, we can block off entire streets for like funeral processions and things like that. We couldn't do that in Buenos Aires, and it's really expensive to shoot down there.
The film, like the play, will be all music, no spoken words.
No, they're spoken.
There are spoken words.
There are bits and pieces of spoken dialogue throughout the film.
Commercially risky?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we are either going to invent a whole new art form and it's going to be just the most amazing thing, or we're all completely mad. Because
Do you believe in it? Are you convinced it's going to work, or are you
I believe
kind
in
of
it.
guessing at this point?
No, I believe in it. I believe in it. I think it's going to be a real moving piece of work and very important.
It's monumental to you personally. How big a deal is it to your career?
I think it's a very big deal.
Biggest thing yet?
Yeah.
Make or break in film sense?
No. But it will certainly help if it does well. Yes.
And if it doesn't?
You make another one.
I just don't want to think about that right now. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow morning in part 2 of our conversation, Madonna talks about
I feel like celebrities, artists these days don't have this type of pressure riding on them. Like, I just feel like that's just not a thing anymore. And maybe it's because, like, we're so overconsumed, but it's like, again, people don't even have, like, eras, really, right? It's just moments. So, anyway, let me get back to 1996, okay?
about marriage and motherhood and the future of her changing music career. We're back in just a moment. Stephen King is next, right after this.
Oh, so that was starting y'all out for real, man, for real.
Uno.
Yeah, thank you. In the world of pop and rock, Madonna has clearly proven her worth. Commercially, she's the most successful female recording artist of all time. And though the upcoming screen version of Evita represents her most important film undertaking to date, the biggest news in her personal life is that a baby is on the way. I talked with Madonna in Budapest, Hungary, just before her pregnancy was announced, and asked whether she thought marriage was an essential part of motherhood.
I've been married before. It's not what it's cracked up to be.
And yet I read that you...
I think you can live with someone and be in love with someone and raise children and not be married and be perfectly fine.
You have been married before. People forget that, I think, from time to time. I was surprised, in fact, to see that you still referred in a recent interview to Sean as the love of your life.
Right. Well, maybe I should clarify that statement. I mean, I think I've never loved anyone with such a pure idealism as I loved Sean. And that's probably why I married him.
Yes, I get what she's saying, like, in reality, right? Like she says, that's why she married him. Like, you know, because I always tell Pressure, I'm like, I will never, ever love a man the way I love you. Like, period. Nope, nobody not getting all this love. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid. No. And I don't know, me personally, just having the kid, y'all know, shout out to baby Empress, she's 2 years old now. Can't believe that. Being married, like, I honestly think, I might sound old-fashioned, but I do think being married and having a child is good, because in the early stages of that child, like it's your first child, it be kind of rough, right? Because it's like, ooh, you as a mom, you trying to figure it out. Like, you need somebody who's gonna hold you down and love you unconditionally. Then you and him, right? Y'all might, or, you know, if you adopt, right? So him and him, right? Her, whatever. Y'all might butt heads, because it's kind of like, hey, I want the baby to do this. You like, now I want the baby to do that. So that love needs to be there to keep, I feel like the love needs to already be there to keep that relationship strong, because the baby coming in is going to add a new dynamic that y'all not prepared for. I don't care what nobody say. Especially that first child. You just not prepared. You think you may know, but you have no idea.
You know, it was a very important relationship in my life.
You have, you've been in some good, successful films. Dick Tracy, Truth or Dare, League of Their Own, Desperately Seeking Susan.
Hey.
You have been in some bad and failed movies.
Hey.
Shanghai Surprise, Sunset Girl,
Shanghai Surprise.
Body of Evidence.
Hey, that movie.
Do you think,
Check out that Body of Evidence review. I'd still be like, what?
in those that failed, your acting contributed to their failure? Assuming the converse is true, that your acting contributed to the success of the other ones that
Right.
succeeded.
I think Shanghai Surprise and Body of Evidence were bad movies that I was good in. And I think Who's That Girl was a bad movie that I was bad in.
Yes, I agree with this assessment.
I never killed anybody.
I hated Who's That Girl.
I was frame, Loudon. I was going with this guy named Johnny. Small-time booster.
What would a good review mean at this point to you for your acting?
The whole world.
Oh, come on. I mean, you've already got as big a bank account, as big a name as you want. I mean, what difference would it make?
Well, money doesn't make people happy,
Understood.
as you know.
That's what rich folks say, okay? Madonna, that's the richest thing you said. I don't dispute it, but again, listen, I think having some coins up in the bank always make life a little bit more easier.
Well, it would make a really big difference, because then I think that I would probably have the opportunity to do a lot more movies and do a lot of things that I'd like to do filmically.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you need a good review?
I don't, personally. I know that I'm a good actress, but I think other people, you know, the masses who are so easily swayed, as you know, they need to read it.
Do you think it is possible for your acting efforts to be judged on their own merits?
Yes. I think it has to do with timing. For instance, Body of Evidence came out right after my sex book, and everybody was already like running to burn me at the stake. So it doesn't really matter what movie I would have done at that point. And I also think it has to do with the project itself. Is the project large enough to contain my baggage?
Have you given up on the idea of being judged fairly or objectively?
That's a good question.
She's thinking.
No, I haven't given up. I've given up on thinking that it's going to happen overnight, but I haven't given up on it. I still have hope that people are going to No, being happy is the #1 priority.
I feel that, girl.
Professionally speaking.
I guess so. I mean, it's my first love. So
First loves don't always last.
Man, what you asking?
this is true, but you never forget them.
Of course not. But if Evita goes well and the reviews are as wonderful as you'd hope for them to be, and acting becomes increasingly attractive, does continuing with a musical career become less attractive?
No, it just means I'm busier. I don't think I'd ever want to stop writing music. Ever.
You have, as I understand, had more hits than any woman in history. How important is the record to you?
Well, it's nice, but it's not something I think about. Truly, I didn't even know what you just told me.
Oh, give me a break.
I swear to God, I thought like Whitney Houston was ahead of me or something.
I can believe that.
She's closing fast, I understand.
Oh, who cares?
Well, that answers my next question. Do you care?
No.
You don't care? Mariah can pass, Janet can pass, doesn't matter. Whitney can pass, doesn't matter. Who cares?
Well, they can't do what I do. What is that? All that mean, anyways? A list. Everyone's too obsessed with lists. I mean,
All right, let's hold it. Let's pause that real quick. All right, so we got who he said? Mariah, Whitney, Janet, right? All three black women, right? I don't know what y'all still think about Mariah by 96. If y'all haven't figured out she was black or not. But, okay, so this is a very, very interesting statement, all right? So, Madonna, I don't think Madonna was being shady either. Madonna was just keeping it real. Like, I felt like how she kept it real in 1984. When she was like, I'm a white artist doing black music, right? Boom. So, right here, this is absolutely interesting and true. So, all three of these women pursued film careers, right? Mariah being the most failed, right? With Glitter, which I love. I want to sugar daddy. Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, boom. Nobody not really hitting Mariah for acting roles like that. Whitney was cooking up in the movies, right? She was the queen of the night, right? Bodyguard, Wayne As Hell, they had already come out. So she almost on, The Preacher's Wife era, right? So Whitney was cooking up in the movies. And Janet, what she had did by then? Well, Janet started out acting really right. Good Times, Different Stroke, Fame. What's that movie? Poetic Justice, right? She had won an Oscar for that song again, right? By now, so I feel like what Madonna said was so interesting because it's true. None of these women could do what Madonna did, right? Like, period. I feel like Whitney was too in a box. Same as Mariah, honestly, right? They were two in a box. Again, we didn't know about Whitney until crack was whack, basically. And then even then, as a little kid, it was kind of like, huh, what's going on? And then who I said, Mariah, talking about she was up and sing, right? With Tommy Mottola. He was over there beating her down, telling her she can't go nowhere, right? Mariah wanted to be young, out there thotting. Tommy was like, nah, keep your butt at home, right? Boom. Make them records, girl. And Janet. So I feel like Janet was like the closest one, and this is just my own, perspective, y'all. I feel like Janet was the closest one who could kind of do what Madonna did, but we saw really how that backfired on Janet with the whole Nipplegate, which call me a conspiracist, but I still believe that whole nipple exposation was planned. I don't think it was an accident. I think it just went left because Janet was very, very sexual in her music and image by, what was that, 2004, I think it was, right? 2005. But yeah, I mean, I find nothing wrong with what Madonna just said. I feel like she just told the complete truth, right? Again, Madonna, her influence, what she could do, it is basically rooted in her white privilege, no doubt about that. But then also, again, Madonna just had more flexibility as an artist. I feel like if we talk about artistically, her and Mariah, I really feel like were the two artists there that could, Mariah's an artist that really enjoys making music, being in the studio, layering the vocals, right? Whitney, I feel like, was just somebody who was a performer. Whitney knew how to turn it on, and leave up out of there. Janet, I feel like Janet was somebody, like everybody here, that was forced into the industry, right? She had no choice, and she just learned how to become a dancer, an actress, an artist, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Mariah and Madonna had the more vision, but Madonna just being well-rounded artistically than the three icons, divas we've named here. No disrespect to nobody, we love them all, but this is how I'm reading it. Anyway, let's finish.
I don't mind being on top. Don't worry, I'm not like complaining about it or anything.
What happens after Evita's done?
Yeah, no, she not.
I collapse in a heap.
Will you make a concerted attempt after it's wrapped to lay low so that it's judged on its own merit?
Oh, yes, I will. So considerable. Yes.
And lay low she will. Madonna's baby is due in October. Disney has moved the release date of Evita from November to late December. Still coming up on Today, what's supposedly going to be hot and trendy at weddings this year.
Totally 90s. All right, drop them comments down below. What kind of insights y'all took away? Y'all know we love to talk it up in the comments, chop it up. I forgot who said it, but I didn't realize the difference in how Madonna looked with the brown eyes either until you pointed it out, and now I'm watching this like, oh yeah, she do look different. But anyway, drop them comments down below. Let me know y'all thoughts. Again, we back on the journey. Y'all girl is here. I'm tapped in. Y'all tap in with me. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.